life expectancy has increased over time, which we would expect. But for one group, since 2000s up until now, life expectancy has actually decreased. This is middle-aged white men. The reason for this is actually mostly self-induced.
Sure, so life expectancy has nearly doubled since 1900.
No, I'm talking about specifically for white men since 2000
correct. So if
who
you
are
could
middle-aged.
let me finish the sentence without getting 6 words into it, I let you talk about whatever you wanted to talk about. The byproduct of why white men are having lower life expectancy since 2000 is self-induced.
Can you slow down? I'm sorry, it's
Am
hard
I talking too fast for you?
Yes,
oh, okay.
you are actually.
Okay, then I'll slow down. It is self-induced, meaning they are making bad choices. So America is a wonderful country because if you make good choices, you get rewarded, and if you make bad choices, you have bad things happen to you. So let me ask you a question. What is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
No, so my question...
No, answer the question because you're a subject matter expert on this.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Can you clarify, you said the reason that
They're
this
making
issue
bad choices.
is that they are making bad choices.
Yeah, so what is the primary...
This is the entire population of middle-aged white men.
Right, so if you can answer my question, since you're a subject matter expert at it, what is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
Cancer or heart disease.
Heart disease. What is the
or heart disease. Everyone heard you say
Yes, what is the number one reason for heart disease?
Okay, so let's move along from that.
So are facts something you don't want to talk about tonight?
I am talking about facts, and what I was asking you is life expectancy for middle-aged men has decreased since 2000. This is a fact.
Because of heart disease, which is a byproduct.
No, I just said this study showed the reason life expectancy has decreased is attributed to, I agreed with you, those are the main causes of death, but the reason that life expectancy has decreased since 2000 is because of self-induced harm. And all I was saying is you made a claim that life expectancy has increased. It hasn't. And
Since
for this group, that is mainly the
demographic
that is interested in you.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
Much lower. So it's increased exponentially over time. It has for every group. Point. But then at 2000, there was a change. In 2000, there was a change.
Right.
And for men, they started to decrease.
It was a byproduct of surpluses and having food everywhere at all times.
It has nothing to do with obesity. This is self-induced harm that is causing this.
So let's walk through this. What is the number one cause of death for middle-aged white men?
That's not what I'm talking about. So I have another thing to say.
Heart disease. What is the number one precursor for heart disese?
So I think we've both made whatever point we wanted to make. So can I ask
I'm still trying to figure out yours, but yes, please do.
That's okay. So my second question is...
And I would like to get to your shirt at some point too, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a Black Lives Matter shirt. I feel like we are unable to have any sort of actual conversation, which is not what I came here thinking.
You are entitled to your own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts.
These are not my own facts. I could provide studies and citations for everything I've said tonight. I haven't heard you do that.
I mean, everything, you can easily reference everything.
You said things that I know are factually wrong. This is coming from research.
Name one.
That life expectancy has increased for every group in America.
Since 1900, which is what I said.
Well, since 2000, it has not increased for white men.
Because they're making bad choices. Heart disease is the number one killer of middle-aged white men. What causes heart disease? Overeating, sedentary lifestyle, not working out, indulging in alcohol, and drugs too much, which is a byproduct of our amazing surpluses made possible by the free market system. You know what the number one cause of death in Venezuela is? Starvation. I would rather have a culture where we're trying to have people join gym memberships in a New Year resolution, not eat zoo animals.
Thank you for the conversation.
I'd like to talk about your shirt, though.
I would not like to talk about that.
Okay, well, the fact that the entire Black Lives Matter movement is built on factually incorrect and identity politics try to separate America, would love to have a conversation about it, but it's good because your friend's wearing the same shirt, so we could talk about that. So, thank you for being here tonight. I mean that sincerely, but go ahead.
What do you think socialism is? Because I think you're misunderstood.
Socialism is what I see, which is the implementation of totalitarian control on the means of the best interest of people under the guise of the failed doctrine of Marx and Engels.
That's wrong.
Just because you say it wrong doesn't make you right.
Just because you say I'm wrong doesn't make you right.
No, it actually does, because everywhere socialism has been implemented, you've seen catastrophic human deaths.
I'll let you know what socialism is.
Well, what makes you a subject matter expert on the 100 million people that have died?
Are you a subject matter expert on that?
I actually am.
Are you?
Yes.
Do you have a degree in it?
Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you know more than other people.
Do you do research on it?
Plenty, more than you.
Do you?
Yeah, let's talk about socialism and communism, because I can name
Okay.
all 75 failed Marxist
Socialism?
examples on 5 continents over the last 100
I
years.
think you're misunderstood as to what Marxism is.
So give me one example of where Marxism has been implemented successfully.
Socialism is worker, not government.
Okay, so give me one example of where that exists.
It doesn't exist right now.
No, you're wrong, actually, because in America, over 4 million people work in employee-owned companies. So the very model
that's not a
they
country.
own the means of production. Yes,
No, that's
they
not
own
a
the
country
company.
based on socialist principles.
No, you're right. It's actually a free
That's a
market country
company.
that allows your worldview to be implemented successfully and peacefully. So Publix, the largest grocery store in America, is employee-owned.
That's not socialism.
But you just said it's workers owning the means of production.
Yeah, in an entire
So you want to
country.
force that upon someone else,
No,
correct?
I don't.
So what if
I'm
I want...
actually an anarchist. Not
So let's talk
socialism,
about this. Let's talk about it, though. So, it's okay. It's okay. She came here tonight. It's fine. So
Capitalism is antagonistic to anarchism, by the
is
way.
anti what?
Is antagonistic. Can you hear me? Antagonistic to anarchism.
So you're an anarchist that is saying good things about socialism.
Yeah, because I believe in the communal ability of people to work together to come to the best.
So you have a lot of problems with the current system, right?
Basing an entire economic system on capital, on wealth, is not the best for each person in the world.
So you would want to live in a communal society, essentially, right? So why don't you go live like the Amish right now and go do it, because they live in a communal society?
That's not the point.
No, the point is
not to
you're
move.
advocating for a governmental worldview. I'm never going to tell you how to live your life. Why are you telling me how to live mine?
I'm not arguing for a governmental
You're arguing for a lack thereof one, which is one.
No.
Then why don't you go
Anti-state
live like
is
an anarchist
anti-state.
off the grid? Why are you telling me how to live
That's
my
not
life?
off the grid. Anarchism isn't off the grid.
Well, why don't you go live like an anarchist right now?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm living by anarchist principles within a capitalist society, which means I'm fighting for anarchist principles.
So you're
within
cool with a
society.
capitalist society because I'm allowing you to live like an anarchist.
No.
But then, hold on. So why do you want to tell me how to live
I'm
my
not telling
life?
you how to live.
Are
Dad.
you? So you're okay
telling
with,
me how to live. I'm not telling you
You're
how to
okay
live.
with me to have 3 houses and 6 yachts?
I don't think that's very cool, but
Not cool, but you want to take them away from me?
no, I didn't say that.
So you'd be okay with me having $1 billion? So
No.
you're okay with? So then, what's wrong with the current system we live in again?
It is not based on the best outcome for each person. It's based on the wealthy getting wealth off of making the poorer poor.
Just because someone gets rich doesn't mean someone gets poor.
Yes, it does.
Explain that
In
to
this
me.
society, it does.
Explain that to me. When
As
you
someone
bought
gets
bought
richer-
your hat, who got poor?
The people who made the hat.
They voluntarily contributed their labor
did
and they
not.
got paid for it.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then
and
why
that
would you buy
everyone's
it?
wearing. Because there's no other options in our capitalist country. There are no other options in our capitalist
That's
country.
totally and factually incorrect. Make your own clothes.
There aren't very many options for that.
Well, so what you're trying to say is you outsource your goods and services in a capital voluntary because you don't
think
want to
it's okay
spend the
for
time to
people
go
to be
make your own
enslaved?
clothes.
Do you think
No, what
it's
I'm trying to
okay
say
for
is you're
people to be
making
enslaved
the
to buy your
argument for
clothes?
you. I don't make my own clothes because I'm happy
No,
that someone
I
in
said buy your own
Southeast Asia
clothes.
gets a job so that I don't have to go make my own
And then
clothes.
they
I'm
burn
actually
alive
really
in
happy about
factories?
that.
'Cause
Restate
that's
your
real
question.
nice.
Restate the
And then they
question.
burn alive in factories for making your clothes?
I'm really happy that Southeast Asia is experiencing economic renaissance so I don't have to go make my own clothes. In fact, some of these clothes are
So
made
they
in
burn
Italy
alive in
because they're
factories.
quite
So
expensive.
you're happy that people burn alive in factories so you can buy your clothes for cheaper?
I think that's a wonderful thing.
Okay, you're happy that people burn alive in factories. That's what you just said. Thank you.
Thank you for your feeling-induced emotional argument, and henceforth, we prove it again.